Hey, Donovan, what do you feel like this series came down to?
They've been there. We had some mental lapses, and they capitalized, and those can change a series. You lose game one, you're chasing a series. Game two happens, chasing, and you give a lot of energy game three, and then game four, find the uphill battle against a team that has the fastest pace in league history. Yeah.
I saw that you went back out on the court a little bit after the final buzzer. What was going through your mind at that point? What were you trying to process?
Just couldn't believe it. Didn't want to believe it. Don't want to believe it. Still don't want to believe it. It's tough. It's tough to win this league. Give them credit. We didn't do the things necessary. I love playing in that fucking arena, man. Like, that energy, that crowd. We're 0-3 at home. Let the city down, man. This place is special. This place is really special. And we didn't get it done, Chris. Like, it's, especially at home. That's what hurts, Yeah. I mean, just feel like for us, we had a lot of positives, but I told you during the year we're going to be judged off this. There's going to be a lot of talk. That's what comes with it. And we didn't capitalize. So now we got to use this as motivation. Everybody's going to write us off. Everybody in here. I mean, it's not personal. So what are we going to do about it next year? And, yeah.
Yeah. I know that not everything is black and white, but considering that you guys had a 64-win season and then have your season end the same game as you last year, do you view this year as a success?
We took a step in the right direction, but we didn't win a championship, and we didn't complete the end goal. So, no, there's no moral victories here. We just didn't get the job done. There's really nothing else to be said.
Jim.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no.
What do you think needs to happen between right now and this time next year to take that next step?
I gotta be willing. I just feel like this is a lesson. Like I said, winning is tough. You gotta be willing to damn near die out there on the floor. Not to say we weren't, but for a full 48 minutes on a consistent basis, you gotta be that desperate. Can't have little mistakes. I can't get a steal and get momentum, go behind my back knowing everybody's behind me and lose the ball, then give the ball right back to him. You know what I'm saying? I can't not. Tyrese has hit 4 threes. I can't not switch up. He hits a fucking 3 from the logo. Like, changes the game. I can't miss 3 free throws. Like, I don't give a damn how tired. Here we are. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
All right. Toughness isn't just physical. There's a bunch of different components of it. Mental, emotional, physical is part of it. But when you look at this group, do you think this group is tough enough as a collective to win at the highest level?
Yeah. I think the biggest thing is, I've been doing this 8 years, and I've been in the same round 8 years. These things aren't easy. Just when you think you've gotten somewhere, there's another level. You know what I'm saying? And I think, to Danny's point, like to Danny's question, like we took a step We didn't take two. We took one. And getting beat down like this, and y'all are going to write some shit about us, man. And that's going to be fuel. Like, fuel for everybody. Y'all going to say a lot of shit. Y'all are. And that's what it takes. I've been here. So I understand, we understand, and now we just got to use it as fuel for next year.
Donovan, do you think there's any? Do you think this team lost a little rhythm between the Miami series, the week layoff, and the slow start in this series?
I think game one set the tone. I don't think it was damn near the same week we had before we played Miami. Game one set the tone, and obviously guys are out game two, and like I said, you're fighting an uphill battle. It's a different pace. It's a different, it's different. So I don't think it was a rhythm. I think we just no, I don't think we got out of rhythm.
Last one, Cam.
Last year, we talked about the core four and keeping this unit together. There was a lot of questions, and you guys stayed confident in it. Is that something you would go to bat for, just keeping this team as a whole?
I go to bat for every guy in that locker room. Like, willing to die out there for those guys. We are for each other. We get so, like, winning is not easy. Some things have to go right, so you got to play well. You got to capitalize on opportunities. Like, I'm obviously, you look at around the league, like, it's just, you got to capitalize. And we have a window with this group. I believe in everybody in here. We believe in each other. And that's what sucks, man. It's just, we're a good team. And for 4 games, 3 games, we didn't show, what we're capable of. And ultimately, that's what we're judged on. So, get in the gym, weight room, nutrition, whatever the hell it is, and get back at it, because y'all going to write us the fuck off, man. But we'll be back. Let City down, let each other down. We'll be back.
Nate.
How are you processing this?
Haven't really. Just happened. A lot of things going through your mind. You gotta just take it moment by moment right now.
Kenny said that he thought a lot of individuals improved this season, but you guys didn't make the jump you wanted to, and you're not celebrating the season because of that. Do you view this as a big disappointment, underachieving? How do you describe it?
Yeah, I think definitely wanted to go further. That's the main thing. Had a good season. Guys definitely improved. I feel like I've definitely improved. You just got to go back to the drawing board, see what we can do better next year. But yeah, the main thing is we wanted to make a jump in the playoffs. We didn't really care too much about regular season. It's definitely a positive. Definitely took steps towards the right direction. And I think it's just more experience. So we're going to look at the bright side of that, and next year go further.
Jimmy.
And then how much do you think injuries influence this series?
A good amount, but that's just the playoffs. Everyone gets hurt. You just got to find a way to win. Certain games that you're supposed to win, you got to win. Look back to game 2, when you're up 20, like you got to just finish games out, and the series just looks a lot different.
Kenny said that there's another mental jump that this team needs to take. what is that next jump?
I think just mental fortitude, being strong in these big moments, and then just individually, mentally, just having more preparation, being ready from the jump of this series. I feel like we didn't start off the best, game one, and then from there we got hurt, and things just went downhill. But you just got to be more mentally ready from the jump.
Jeff.
Evan, you guys win tonight, you make it a series again. And you were in control in that first quarter. So what switched after that first quarter?
Got to go back and watch the film. I'm not sure right now.
I mean, when they were 1 of 10 on threes in that first quarter, and then they started hitting it. Was it something they did, or did you guys?
I think it was us. I think Tyrese had a few threes that quarter that really got him going, and that's on us. Like, we gotta be better in pressuring the ball and not letting them even get those shots. And that's part of like the mental part that we were talking about earlier. Just no mistakes and big moments like that.
Kenny.
Evan, series went 5 games. You win game 3, and 2 of the games you lost. You had 19 and 20-point leads. What was it that they did where you couldn't deliver the knockout punch? They seemed to respond. Can you put your finger on that?
I mean, it's a lot of different things that happen in the game, so it's not just one particular thing that you could just say. But in those games, like I said, you have to win the ones that you can, and when you're up 20, you got to come out with that win. And we did it multiple times, and we got to come out with the wins that we're capable of winning.
SG.
Evan, Kenny talked about just how impressed he was with the pace that Indiana plays with and just the physicality they play with. And obviously you guys trying to take that next step. But why do you think that was such a problem for you guys in this series? Like, and understanding the opponent you had, understanding that was going to be part of their game plan, was there something you felt like maybe you guys could have done differently to be ready for that in this series?
I mean, they're top in the league in transition. That's what they do. So we knew that was going to be an emphasis, and I feel like we tried to slow them down. We did sometimes, didn't sometimes, but I feel like they just did it for longer. They just kept up the pace and kept pushing, and we didn't. Just different factors that can go into that, but I think we just gotta be better defensively at just creating more stops, so our offense can keep flowing.
And then Kenny obviously spoke to us about just kind of reflecting on things, but what was his message to you guys after the match this one?
A lot of positives. Basically, what he told you guys, that a lot of guys got better. It was a good season, but we wanted to make that jump, the next step, and we got to get better over this off season and be more prepared mentally and physically. And same message he told y'all.
Last one, Jackson.
Evan, you mentioned that a lot of guys got better. You were one of those guys that got better. Where do you feel like you improved the most this season?
I think offensively, especially the 3-ball, definitely improved there. And then offensively, just getting to my spots and knocking my shots down. But I'm going to go back to the drawing board this offseason, do the same thing again, and make another big jump offensively as well.
We know you missed a game with an ankle injury. How much was the ankle a factor when you did return to play?
Yeah, first 2 games was not too bad. Got knee in the calf again on the same leg. So today I was a little slower to things, but you got to just fight through. I mean, we got a lot of guys down, 4 guys that really got hurt, and you got to just go out there and keep fighting and do what you can to try and win.
Thank you.
Jay, you mind if I start first? Or yeah, just just want to congratulate the Pacers. You know, they were the better team. They deserved it. They played great. So congratulations to Rick and that group during the conference finals. Again, I would just say from the Cavaliers standpoint, I'm going to go positive here in the sense that I do feel like we got better. And from a team aspect, and then we had a lot of individuals make a step. So I just want to make that clear. But the truth of the matter is we didn't get to the level we wanted to get to. So, you know, I'm not, you know, we're not pleased with that, and we're not celebrating the season, if that all makes sense. But I do think we made strides. I think we took a jump, and now we got to figure out this last piece, how to get over this hump. And I was quite honestly expecting more, especially coming off the Miami series. You know, though we were playing great basketball. Definitely, just the truth. We had some misfortune. You know, with you know, a couple injuries, so that was you know, unfortunate. But I still felt like we had enough. So it's disappointing from our perspective. So just wanted to start out with that.
Chris.
Hey, Kenny.
Hey, Chris.
You mentioned being unable to reach that level. Why do you think you were unable?
I think they presented a physical challenge that's probably the first off the bat. And to their credit, they kind of did it longer they could sustain longer than we could. So now that's not all physical, Chris. I think that part of that is mental, right? The mental strength that's part of our growth. We obviously got to get physically better, or arrive physically better to compete with a team like this that plays at this high intense pace. And they're up here, guys. Like I know from the data, I know from watching film that they're up here and they can sustain it. I just give them so much credit for being able to sustain that type of intensity for so long. Now we got to find a way to match it, and we didn't. We weren't. I think we're built for it. I think the type of athlete we have, we're built for it, but we weren't ready for that. And then the mental part, that we got to get over that. I just felt like we got another jump to make with kind of our mental strength. But I love our togetherness. I love our leadership. I love our maturity. All that. So those would be the two areas. Like if you kind of right off the bat, I think we got to get better.
Physicality and mental toughness. How do you?
Physicality is not. That's like, to me, physicality is like bump. There's so much. It's the force thing. Like you be able to run. I mean, this league has become this. It is the pace is, especially against this team, is incredibly high, and it's for. So, it's. There's just a lot of work. I mean, we gotta work at it, right? I mean, there's off-season, programs we set in place. I think that's part of my strength, the development area. We obviously got some guys that gotta make jumps from a physical standpoint, and then there's a lot of mental, there's a mental aspect to it, and I think there's conversations about that, and you help guys along, and that's part of coaching, right? Help them get over that hurdle. So we got a lot of work to do. Is what I'm saying.
Ken.
In this series, for you, what do you feel like you learned the most as a coach that you can take into this offseason that you're going to focus on?
Yeah, I think I think I have to breathe first, before I kind of make a summary, because I don't want to come out there and, I did learn kind of what I told Chris. We got jumps. We got areas we have to improve in, and we could not sustain, from a physical standpoint, and then from a mental standpoint, they were just. I think they were stronger, and that's a team. Like I said, they've gotten over the hump. They've gotten to the conference finals. We're not there yet, so just kind of repeat. We got a lot of work to do in the off season. But again, I'm just going to say it. I think we got better. I really do. I think, and I think we had players that made jumps. But now this is a different season. Playoffs are different. We gotta figure that out. I can promise you. There's nothing. There's no better motivator than a loss like this. There's nothing that motivates more a player. I know that because there's the pain you live with every day until you get back here in May or June. You live with that, and there's no better motivator for an athlete, for a professional athlete, to kind of get back to work. Say, man, I got to get to that next level. And from me, myself, also our staff, like, geez, we got another jump to make. We got to figure it out.
Kenny, what about this matchup neutralized your offense? And in particular, even late in the game here, they had a hard time. Your guys had a hard time just making those easy buckets. And
yeah, they just they kind of wore us down. They wore us down. They have a particular style they play. They definitely make you play more on one-on-one. They don't let you get into your drive, kick, swing. They stay at home on drives because their ability to guard one-on-one. And we've seen this with a couple other teams, elite teams. It's kind of how they scheme us. So we got to go back to the drawing board a little bit. And what we really struggled was with the pressure, the full court ball pressure. I felt like that was the beginning of it, and we struggled just to get into our stuff early enough. So credit to them. Yeah, but I agree with that. I mean, I actually thought our defense was, did a good job. I thought it was our offense that hurt us more.
Small.
Can you tonight, Donovan struggled shooting it from outside, Darius from outside, just the collective kind of struggle from shooting it outside.
Yeah. I know, and we really didn't shoot it well all series. I don't know what the numbers. I know we're way below expected, and that, we're gonna have to go back and look at it. Kind of what I said. Look at the offense. What were the quality of shots? I felt like we didn't get enough catch and shoot ones tonight. I thought it was more off the dribble, which are obviously lower percent. All those guys are elite, and I'd like to kind of swing it and give them credit for making it tough on us. You wear a team down, and shots become a little harder. They're short. You're not getting kind of the type of shots you want and the type of condition you want, right? So credit to them for doing that to us.
Yeah.
Kenny, you mentioned not celebrating this, and I understand that not everything is black and white, but do you view this year as a whole as a success?
I think, yeah, if you get better, you feel like you've internally, I think we all in that locker room, in our organization, felt like we got better. And we felt like we had players make a jump. But, and I got to be careful here, but it's not a success in terms of where, the goal we had. We had a goal to make that next jump, right? So I'm not sure we can say that, right? I do think we can say we got better and we improved. But a success would be you're going to the conference finals, so can't deem it a success.
You've mentioned before this game not
injuries not having a factor. But with Darius, how much was he playing through? Just how bad was that?
It's hard for me to tell, Dan. I mean, obviously he was hobbled, and you know, in this is part of it. And I've been saying this all year. We had to arrive here healthy. It's the big hurdle. They were healthy. I mean, completely healthy. I believe so. They're at 100% healthy. And when you're working on the margins, you know, you got 3 guys out, 3 of your top 6 out. You got your point guard out for the first. It's like, you know, you just wish you were whole, you know. But I don't think that's an excuse. Like I don't want to say, oh, that's the reason, because that's not the reason, because they were the better team. But somehow we got to arrive here next year, you know, injury free. I mean, that's the goal. We worked hard. We work hard to do that, and there's bad luck. There's misfortune. You know, they weren't soft tissue, you know, injuries, which is somewhat controllable, right? So it's little misfortune, little bad luck. But you know, definitely, we all saw it. It wasn't himself.
Joe?
Kenny, this is gonna sound like second guessing, and I don't mean that to be, but just given what you've been talking about for the last 10 minutes and what happened in the series, do you think that sort of the collective taking the foot off the gas at the end of March had anything to do with this? And then also, when we're talking about being able to match the Pacers' pace, you didn't have any players average more than 31 minutes for the regular season, and I know why you guys did that. But could we say that played a role in maybe not being able to keep up with the way they run?
I'll answer the first question. So the March thing, we didn't take our foot off the gas. I think we had a hellacious schedule and didn't play well, and that I know, like, kind of that would be kind of my fact. So there wasn't, you know, we're resting guys for 5 games, you know, none of that. I will say we definitely had a plan post All-Star in terms of, and you can kind of see the minutes of getting guys more games with higher minutes, you know, leading up to the playoffs. Now, some of that gets cute, right? You're up 20, and the plan is to play Don 39 minutes, and you know, you don't do it. And so, could I play guys a couple more games with higher minutes? But there was a plan in place. I think we executed it okay. But I do think there are some circumstances around that. Listen, there's, you know, we still have some young players that, you know, Evan, it takes time to get to this level, this intensity. And they, you know, they have a vet squad that's kind of done it. And we just have probably a small group of guys that need to take a jump. And they will. It's you know, it doesn't like all of a sudden like happen. It's a process. And you see Evan's going to get a little better. Darius is going to get a little stronger. Evan's going to get a little stronger. Those guys are going to get better, you know, better, and that, you know, that's part of getting over the hump.
And then quickly, how do you think, whether it's the Knicks or if Celtics somehow survive, or Thunder, or whatever, how are these other teams going to deal with the Pacers pace? Like, I would imagine you feel it's pretty special.
I mean, they beat the Knicks last year the same way. They wore them down. I think did the Knicks get injured? I think there were a few. It's and I just mad respect. It's like a college team, and I say that in a really good way. Like they press for 48 minutes, and they run faster than anybody in the league. We have the data. I wish I had a graph, right? You got the league. We're kind of up there, and probably 60, and they're up here. And I think, to their credit, I think they've recruited to that type of, that's their style of play. They've surrounded, you know, their best player with that. But I do think we have a team that's capable of doing that too. We just got to figure out. But if you play the Celtics, the Knicks, it's a totally different. The Heat, it's a different type of game. This this game, this team, we couldn't match it.
Let's go, Ref. Coach.
All right, thanks everybody.